Your standard Caterbone.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. That's counsel waive the reading complaint.
Yes, Your Honor.
Almost ready to proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, the Commonwealth first calls Brunilda Ramirez to the stand.
Come forward. Okay. Place your left hand to Bible. Clear. Left hand to Bible. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
So help you God. Have a seat. Proceed.
Ms. Ramirez, where were you living in the year 2016 and 2017?
1252 Fremont, in Lancaster, PA.
Who were you living with at that time?
2 daughters and grandkids.
Is one of your daughters Ashley Ramirez?
Yes,
And does one of your grandsons have initials of XM?
yes,
Are you familiar with the individual who lives at 1250 Fremont Street?
yes.
Who is that individual?
Stan Caterbone?
Is he present in the courtroom
Yes.
today? Your Honor, may it be noticed that the witness has identified the defendant.
Duly noted.
Have you had any contact with the defendant?
Yes.
Just generally speaking. Okay. Let's begin with September 22nd of 2016. At that time, did you report an incident involving videos and photographs of your property?
Yes,
Who was taking these video records and photographs of your property?
Stan.
What was he doing with them?
He puts it on YouTube and on Twitter.
At that time, did he also harass you?
Yes.
What did he do to harass you?
He be cussing at me, and yeah, he cusses at me.
Let's talk about September 29 of 2016. Did your daughter contact the police at that time?
Yes,
Did it have to do with music coming from the defendant's residence?
yes,
Let's talk about November 4 of 2016. Did you contact the police at that point to make a report that he was taking photographs of your children and grandchildren?
yes,
Did he post those photographs anywhere?
in the internet.
On May 18, 2017, did you contact the police to let them know that the defendant was approaching you in a threatening manner?
Yes.
What did he do at that time?
He cussed at me and said the B word and something about the house burned. And banging on the wall.
Just so I heard you correctly, he said something about burn in
Yes.
relation to your house?
Mhm.
Okay. Did you also contact the police on June 6th of this year and tell them that the defendant had yelled at your granddaughter on June 1 when she was in front of your house?
She was going to school.
And what happened?
I was inside the house and he was outside and he just approached her and said something to her. I said, do me a favor, do not talk to her. And the bus driver opened the door and that's when he cursed at me, and the bus driver and my granddaughter heard it. I told my granddaughter, get in the car and get in the bus.
Was she was always positioned in front of your house at that
Yes.
time? On June 3rd, 2017, did you contact the police to let them know that there was banging on your wall coming from his house to the extent that items were falling
In the
down
bathroom.
in your house? And was there any loud music involved at that time?
It was too many banging.
Okay. Let's talk about October 31st, 2017. Your grandson, who has initials of XT, how old is he?
10.
Was there an incident involving him?
He walks through the back of the house to go to school. And he said he was walking, Stan was putting something in the car, his car in the back. And he said he followed him, he described everything what he was wearing. He called me for the school, I told him call the police, let them know.
And that was after he told you that the defendant had followed him?
Yeah.
On November 20th, 2017, did you contact the police to inform them of a video that had been posted to Twitter?
Yes, and yeah,
Who posted the video?
Stan,
What was the video about?
I have the video,
Are you able to pull that up?
yes.
Your Honor, if we may just have a moment for the witness to pull up the video.
Right there. Yes, sir.
Have you seen this?
No.
Then you have to put the volume up.
I'm gonna pause it so you can put it up because I don't wanna push the wrong button. It's on the highest volume. I'm just gonna stop there because it goes on for quite some time after that. Did you share this video with police?
No, I told the detective.
Or the detective, okay. Judge, if I may, just have you watch a portion of this video which I've previously shown to defense counsel. And the volume is a little low, so. In this video, who is Ashley that you hear the speaker identify?
My daughter,
The speaker also says 1252,
that's my house.
and he also says we'll follow her in reference to Ashley. Over this last period of more than a year, how have the defendant's actions towards you affected you regarding your safety and the safety of your family living with you?
I can't take it. I can't. It affected my kids. It affected me. I called half of the precinct. I can't do it. I lost my daughter today because of this what's going on. It's not fair. It's not fair. I even asked him stop banging on my wall. Stop doing that. My granddaughter's disabled. He bangs on the wall when she sleeps at.
Has this caused you any fear for your safety?
Yep.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Trustee Zimmerman?
No questions, Your Honor.
You may step down.
The Commonwealth next calls Detective Bradley Schenk to the stand.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, something you have to say? Proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Schenk, how are you employed?
I'm a police officer with the Extra Bureau of Police.
For how long have you been so employed?
23 and a half years.
It appears that you are the affiant on this case.
That's correct.
Have you been the individual who has received each of the reports regarding the defendant in this case, or how have you learned about those incidents?
I first became involved on October 31st when I spoke to the 10-year-old grandson who Brunel had testified about with the initials XT. I got actually personally interviewed XT on that date and took a statement from him, also spoke with Brunel later that day, and we've been in contact from then up until now.
So through your investigation in this case, you've become familiar with all these incidents that were mentioned?
Yes, our records management system documents when the officers go to an incident, they document every incident they respond to. So the first 6-7 incidents that she testified to, I had personally no involvement in. However, I do have documentation as such. It's all in file.
Based on your investigation and records in your file, are you able to confirm whether the defendant was cited for a violation of the Lancaster City Noise Control Ordinance and found guilty at a summary trial on February 13, 2017 in relation to the report from Ms. Ramirez's daughter on September 29, 2016?
Yes, I actually reviewed the police report and went into web dockets where I found the disposition, which also noted he was found guilty, that Caterbone was found guilty in absentia.
In addition to being found guilty for that particular violation, are you able to confirm whether the defendant was also found guilty in absentia at a summary trial on August 10, 2017 in relation to a report from Ms. Ramirez on May 18, 2017 to which she previously testified?
Yes, through the same means as the prior.
And that was for summary harassment?
It may have been disorderly conduct. It was either harassment or disorderly conduct, or I don't recall specifically.
Okay. What charges did you file in this case?
I filed one count of misdemeanor, one stalking.
Did these actions alleged in the affidavit of probable cause occur within your jurisdiction?
Yes.
The defendant in each of these incidents is Stanley Caterbone?
Yes, identified in the reports by name, date of birth, and address.
And he's present today in the courtroom?
It's been quite a while since we met, but I've had prior contact years ago, yes.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Trustee Zimmerman?
No questions, Your Honor.
You may step down.
The Commonwealth rests at this time.
Counselor?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
No argument?
Yes. Your Honor, this is just a disagreement between two neighbors. There is not a course of conduct. Banging on your neighbor's wall does not lead to a course of conduct of following your neighbor. On one occasion, he indicated he was driving around trying to see who was in front of his house. I just don't believe that this adds up to a M1 stalking, Your Honor. I'd ask that you throw it out here.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth alleges that it has in fact shown a prima facie case for stalking based on the testimony of Ms. Brunilda Ramirez, wherein she testified that since late 2016 through this year, she has been repeatedly harassed. Members of her family have been stalked by the defendant. This is a course of conduct. He has repeatedly refused to abstain from this conduct. In addition, he has been found guilty of violations of the noise control ordinance as well as harassment and other charges in this case. And for that reason, we would ask that at this level, we have because we have proven a prima facie case, we would ask that all charges be bound over.
All right, motion for dismissal is denied. Listening to the testimony presented, there's sufficient evidence to find a prima facie case.
Your Honor, requesting that bail reduction. Mr. Caterbone's been incarcerated for a couple weeks and unable to post bail because he's indigent. We're asking that his bail be reduced to unsecured.
In this particular case, I'm assuming he's the next door neighbor to the victim.
Yes, Your Honor.
In this particular case, I'm gonna deny bail because he'll be going right back home, so, okay?
Okay.
The reduction is denied. This hearing is adjourned.
Ending the recording now.
In the matter of In re Stanley Joseph Caterbone, this is civil action number 17, TAC 1233. This case is an appeal from a bankruptcy at bankruptcy number 17, TAC 10615. Present in the courtroom is the appellant, Stanley Joseph Caterbone. And Mr. Caterbone, I don't know if you know this, but this hearing was actually scheduled for yesterday at 9:30. So I'm glad you're early today, because we can get the hearing in before all the Friday morning things are scheduled. You're going to get in the mail a order that was entered yesterday when you didn't appear, and that was an order to show cause.
Mine says this, okay.
Oh, and don't worry. What I'm going to do is I am going to dissolve that order to show cause and cancel the hearing that was scheduled on the order to show cause, because you have appeared here today, and either your order was different from my order, which is probably not likely, or you just misread it or got it wrong. It's nothing against you at all because you appeared here today. It's just as though you showed up yesterday.
Can I stand? I can't.
Oh, absolutely, sir.
Yesterday, I went to Reading and got the docket. Now, the last two items on the docket, I never received in the mail.
Okay.
A lot of times, my mail.
Could you hand me, this is the order that scheduled the hearing yesterday. This is the current docket if you want to take a look at those. In fact, if you want to keep those, you could.
Okay, a lot of times my mail is diverted or stolen, and also a lot of times my documents are manipulated. Back in '06, in U.S. District Court, before Judge McLaughlin, I filed a motion, all right? She actually had to get on the record and ask me for a copy of the motion I filed. I mean, this has been happening for 12 years. It goes back, I'm a federal whistleblower, and these things just keep happening in the court. So I didn't misread anything. I had a different order.
Okay.
It was marked for Friday the 26th.
Okay.
I even stayed overnight last night here.
Well, I certainly appreciate you here, and I especially appreciate that you're here early.
Well, the other thing is, Judge, is that case 0049 was initially assigned to Judge Brody in Philadelphia. Now, she had about 6 or 8 of my cases, and the clerk transferred it here. And it's such an inconvenience, I don't know why.
I don't know how the reassignment process works.
Well, it shouldn't have been reassigned. Why did they reassign it at all? She didn't recuse herself.
No, when a new judge comes onto the bench, cases are reassigned from all the judges
Yeah,
to
but
the new judges.
why should I be inconvenienced? I get down to Philly all the time.
Believe it or not, you are actually part of the northern tier. Because you live in Lancaster, Lancaster, Reading, Allentown, and Easton are considered the northern tier of the
Even
Eastern.
bankruptcy.
No, for regular cases.
Well, my,
So because you're part of the northern tier, I presume that the clerk in reassigned it to one of the northern tier judges.
when did that change though?
Oh, I don't know.
I
It
have
would have,
about 12, I must have over 12 cases from '05 till now that are filling.
yeah, I can't answer that question. All I know is the cases have been assigned to me, and I plan to do the best I can with them. Obviously, we're duty bound to minimize the expense and minimize the effort of both counsel and parties to the extent we can.
That hasn't been done in my case.
Well, it might be if we can streamline and find out just what the issue is. Now, the first issue was whether you were entitled to informal pauperous.
Right.
The one petition you filed, it appeared you absolutely were. Another, you were not. There was a lot of suggestions that you had money that was owed to you, large amounts of money that were owed to you. It was unclear whether your income exceeded beyond Social Security, how much you had in the bank, whether you owned your real estate or didn't own the real estate. So all I need from you, because obviously you filed for bankruptcy, so you have some issues money-wise. So right off the bat, we start with you filed for bankruptcy. In fact, at least twice, because this is the second one that I have.
Did you ever read my reorganization plan? What, okay, well, you asked a question.
No, go ahead. No, please go ahead.
Okay, what I did was, in '05, I'm a federal whistleblower.
Okay.
Back in the '80s, I blew the whistle on International Signal Control. I was a shareholder, and they wanted me to finance some operations. I blew the whistle in '87. They were indicted in '91 for selling arms to Iraq. Third largest fraud in the country. I was essentially covered up. So in '05, I finally entered the federal court system and filed complaints. Okay, now I've been in courts ever since. They've woven themselves through the court systems. The claims are protected, okay? The statutes are protected through RICO and other arguments.
There's the False Claims Act. Did you file a claim under the False
I
Claims
did
Act?
file a False Claims Act in '05, but what I did was, what happened is that every time, when I started into the federal court system in '05, I've had my computers hacked, I've had files stolen, so I've had to deal with duress, filing under duress this whole time. So anyway, so I filed motions to leave, motions to withdraw without prejudice, and they were always granted. So all the claims are protected. But what happened was that every time I file, I get, my computers are sabotaged. Within the past 2 weeks, I lost a hard drive, 2 cell phones, to sabotage and vandalism.
Now, who do you believe is doing that sabotage?
What does it matter? I mean, I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. I had to file complaints against the FBI because they don't investigate. I had to file complaints against the police. I had 27 false arrests. 27 false arrests in Leicester County. I'm a true blue federal whistleblower, and I'm treated as one, negatively. I don't have any of the protections. Now, what happened, I even forget what the question, anyway, what I did was, in '05, I filed a Chapter 11 reorganization a week after I filed my first federal claim, all right, my first civil action. And essentially what I wanted to do was protect the creditors and lay out a plan where when I got my settlements, part of the settlements were diverted to cover the creditors. That's what the Chapter 11 is for. No one's after me for money. Okay, I don't have any collectors knocking at my door. It's essentially so I could file the reorganization plan, get it on the record, that the settlements, a portion of the settlements will go to the creditors. That's what the Chapter 11 is all about.
Okay. Now, you filed for IFP and you're suggesting you don't have adequate funds to pay the filing fee, correct?
Right. Oh yeah, I got it.
And
This January, I had a case in the U.S. Supreme Court. They awarded me informed pauperous. You're aware, Middle District awarded me informed pauperous. Lancaster County Court awarded me informed pauperous last August. And I was always awarded informed pauperous from '05 till now.
Right. And you likely will be today. But what I need to know from you is I need to reconcile information that you've provided. So I just need to know, is Social Security your only source of income?
Correct, disability, yes.
And how much?
And let me state for the record.
Yes, sir.
I applied for Social Security disability for symptoms and illnesses related to U.S. sponsored mind control, and they awarded me to that. I'm a victim of that.
Okay,
So that's what I was awarded disability in '09.
okay,
So that's my only income.
all right. And you live alone?
Yes,
No dependents?
no.
Okay. And the total amount of Social Security that you're awarded each month?
I get net $13.79. Now the gross, they take out Medicare is I think 120, and my supplemental is about 20 or 30.
And all of the expenses that you set forth on your applications are true and correct?
Yes, oh yes.
And there was an issue about how much money you have in the bank.
Okay, I got my statements yesterday.
And how much money do you have in the bank?
Right now it's total under 4,000.
And at one point you had said that part of it was for, I think, retirement or something like that. You had it put away for something in the future. Is that correct? But right now you have under $4,000 in the bank.
I have, there's 3,500 in my TD Ameritrade account. And in my debit card account for my Social Security is under 500.
Okay. And you are satisfied that, in your own mind, that you do not have adequate funds to pay the filing fee. And if you were not granted informal paupers, you would be denied access to the courts.
I mean, how could I afford it?
Very well. All right. I do find that you qualify for informal paupers. I am going to dissolve the rule to show cause. There is one other issue I wanted to talk to you about, and I'm glad you're here. This is the second time the bankruptcy judge has dismissed your bankruptcy because you did not get the credit counseling. This is the second time.
Well, do you know I tried to?
No, please, tell me.
Here's what happened. When I filed for Chapter 11 in '05. That bankruptcy wasn't dismissed until August of 2011. I went through 5 years. Okay, that one case. And I never had credit counseling. Now, I didn't know that, apparently, Judge Family told me they changed the rules. Before my last hearing on February 16th, I went online and signed up for the credit counseling. But I was hacked, I couldn't get access to it. Now, during that hearing, he told me that I could do it online with a telephone call. Well, I didn't know that. And I told him, I went through the law, case law, and I built a financial company in the '80s. We were in 5 states in 9 months. I was a financial planner, had all my securities licenses. I was a principal and founder of the company. So, I mean, I could probably teach the classes. So I told him that I found precedent that it's a discretionary decision, and he refuted that. So that's why I took it to the Third Circuit.
Discretionary, the issue...
As far as his decision whether he should have dismissed the case because I didn't have the credit counseling.
Right. What I was thinking, though, is we could resolve this whole thing by you just getting that credit counseling.
Sure, I'll do it separate. Had I known I could have done it over the phone, then I could have bypassed the computer hacker from not allowing me to connect to the online. And in fact, I even have the website. I have the documented when I tried to get online. I could do that.
Okay.
Next week.
I'm gonna contact the clerk to see if there's a way we can either get this bankruptcy back underway with you getting the credit counseling, or whether you need to file a new bankruptcy, what needs to be done.
Yeah, I'll do whatever. As far as the credit counseling, okay, here's another thing.
It seems like a silly reason for the case to be thrown out.
We're wasting taxpayers' money. But I didn't know that you had to have the credit counseling before you enter the bankruptcy. I didn't know that either.
Okay.
But anyway, I think it'd be prudent for all of us if I just do the credit counseling next week, and if you can work out with Judge Failing. And if you read my reorganization plan, you'll understand why I filed Chapter 11.
Okay.
It's
I
pretty
will do
plain
that.
in there as far as the civil complaints, and I'm trying to protect the creditors and making sure that when I do get settlements, you know, they're gonna get paid.
All right.
And those creditors are from 2000, some of those creditors are beyond, before 2005, and for the record, they're not my creditors. Those accounts are the result of the claims that I've been filing in court. In other words, it's not, I didn't just not pay people. Those claims really aren't even my claims.
All right. We'll see. You do the credit counseling next week.
Okay.
And I'll see what I can do about either getting this one back or what we need to do to get that bankruptcy back on track.
Let me do the credit counseling and
And when you do that, I assume they give you some proof that it's been done?
yeah, what they do is they issue you a certificate.
If you could just get me a copy of that certificate,
Okay.
that would be
So
perfect.
you don't care how I do it, on phone or online? Or?
I don't care. Whatever is going to satisfy, the bankruptcy judge says he doesn't have jurisdiction because that's not been done. If it's done, then he has jurisdiction again. So we'll just see what we need to do to get that back
All right.
before him.
I'll have it done by Friday.
Perfect. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir.
Very well. I'm granting you IFP. You'll get that order about a rule to show cause. I am dissolving that rule to show cause, and I'm canceling that hearing that's scheduled there. And we'll see if we can get this all worked out.
Here's another problem.
Yes, sir.
You know, I've been filing electronically in local, state, and federal courts. A year and a half ago, they hacked my Pacer account. So I can't get dockets. I have to actually drive to the courthouses just to get dockets. Now here's the problem. Those last two items on this bankruptcy case in Reading, I never got in the mail. So I have an inconvenience in it. I have to drive to get, is there someone I can call to find out what's on the docket so that I can expect mail? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if you call the clerk on the phone.
Yeah, they say they won't give the docket information out.
Do you
They have
know?
my Pacer account, otherwise I could just, but it's really hard for me because if someone diverts something from the mail, if I don't have access to the docket, I never know it.
Right.
And then I gotta drive to Reading, Philly, or Allentown, I guess. Well, Philly and get the docket.
You know, this doesn't help you any, but there was supposed to be a federal court established in Lancaster.
Oh, I know. Me and our inspector go back to 1992. I was working with Arlen on some other matters.
Right.
We were pretty close.
And that would have really helped the citizens of Lancaster
Oh, I know.
in having access to a federal
And
court.
you know, Judge Stengel,
Yes.
he taught at my high school. I know,
Okay.
Larry from way back.
I don't know the answer to that question because it is very important that you have the orders and access to the
Oh, I
dockets,
know,
et cetera.
because if I don't get the orders, then I'm not, if I miss a requirement, a filing because of an order that I don't get, and it's happened so many times.
Yes. I'm not sure what the answer to that is. It doesn't seem fair that you would have to drive all the way to a clerk's office just to get these documents that are otherwise available right online.
Nothing is fair. Like I say, my valuation in bankruptcy is over $40 million.
If you had a lawyer who had Pacer, but you have financial issues, in any case, because a lawyer could always pull it up for you.
In all honesty, I am a federal whistleblower. Do you know what happens when I try to hire lawyers, associate with lawyers? Oh, you don't want to know.
Because that would be another option. If you had somebody who had access to the docket right there, even if it was a neighbor, it's not hard, as you know, it's not hard to get a
Do you know what
Pacer
happens
account.
to targeted individuals? They're isolated. No one talks to me. My own family. I mean, it's not a very good. It's not a good life. It's a life of torture and hell.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's not your jurisdiction.
Well, let's see if we can at least get this issue resolved in short order. If you would give me a copy of that certificate, I'll get a hold of the
Okay.
clerk and see what we can do about getting that bankruptcy back underway.
Okay. Can I do this? When I do get it, can I just file it in Philly?
You can actually mail it to Philly.
I'd rather not mail it because.
Yeah, the clerk's office is in Philadelphia. There is a clerk's office in
Oh
Allentown.
yeah, I go down there.
But Philadelphia is fine.
Yeah, I'll just file in Philly then. That way I know it's filed and.
Perfect. And if you could also mail a copy to us, just so I
Okay.
have the hard copy.
Okay.
All right? Any other questions, sir?
No, that's good.
All right, thank you very much for appearing here today. I'm sorry about the mix-up about
that's okay.
when the hearing was, but I do appreciate you were early enough we can get on with their other hearings and all look good.
Yeah, I can head back early.
Have a safe trip and have a very happy holiday weekend.
Okay. Do you know, off the record?
Oh, sure.
All rise. United States District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania is now in session. The Honorable Edward G. Smith presiding.
Good afternoon, sir. You may be seated. Thank you. The court is called to order in the matter of In Re Stanley J. Caterbone. This is civil action number 17, TAC 1233. And present in the courtroom is Mr. Caterbone. Mr. Caterbone, I apologize for taking so long to try to get this worked out. I do think we have it worked out, though, if you're agreeable. We have to make a phone call back to that credit counseling people, and they say it will take 10 minutes? 10 minutes, and we will have your certificate of completion. Once we have your certificate of completion, I've contacted the bankruptcy court. They say you do need to file a new one, but it is IFP, I believe, correct? But you can use the old information to file a new one, and then your bankruptcy will be good to go. So I think we may have a solution, thanks to you doing exactly what you promised you would do, going on to try to get the credit counseling. Yes, sir. Oh, no, that's good. You were this close to having it complete where they would have sent you this to me. It was hard to tell from the transcript you submitted.
Your Honor, every time I'm on the phone or online, I don't know if the person really was a credit counselor. If he was, he's trying to harass me and trying to make it so I should not get the certificate.
Well, we're going to...
That's why I filed a motion for hearing. It happens in everything I do.
Yep, we're going to do it right here in court. So whatever he tries to do, I'll just interrupt as necessary to make sure it works. So if you're agreeable, we're going to have my civil deputy call, or do you need me to call from up here? Okay. And when they first answer, they're going to need, I think it was just the last 4 digits of your social security number or your last and the name, and they'll be able to call up your file that you already paid for, complete it, and issue a certificate.
Okay. You don't mind if I stand my back?
Oh, not at all, sir. You just have to make sure you can talk into a microphone. If you want, this microphone will work too, right, Ms. Cooley? If you'd rather stand up here where you can stand and have a microphone up high. That one does. I don't know if you want to bend over to talk to that one.
Thank you for calling. Please listen closely as our menu options have recently changed. If you are an attorney, press 1. If you're calling for information about our bankruptcy courses, press 2. If you've already completed either course and simply require additional copies of your certificate, press 3. If you've completed the first course and now need to take the second course, press 4.
That time it worked.
This call is being recorded. If you do not wish to be recorded, please disconnect at this time.
Well, why they wouldn't give you the certificate when that was all that was left to do, I do not know.
That's just what happens to me all the time.
All right, well, now there should be one faxed to me just in case for whatever reason you can't get yours. All I need you to do is file the bankruptcy petition again. You'll get a new number. It should have all the same information, but if anything's changed, you can add the...
So I need to file all schedules again?
Right,
Okay.
but it can be based on your old one.
Right, okay.
And include that certificate, just the way you would have done before if you had the certificate, and your bankruptcy should be
Will
good.
my informal offers slow down or not?
It shouldn't slow it down at all.
I mean, flow down to that court, or do I have to refile?
Oh, I think you have to refile that as part of the bankruptcy
Okay.
application.
Okay.
But most of this you should already have done before, so it's just a matter of filling in the blanks.
Yeah, I have it, yeah.
All right, it sounds like we're on track to get you into bankruptcy.
Okay, that sounds good. Another question.
Yes.
When I requested a hearing, I'm having a lot of problems with obstruction of justice.
Okay.
It's everywhere. I'll give you for instance. I filed a complaint regarding my whistleblowing activities that date back to 1987 ISC with the Office of Special Counsel, okay? I got a letter yesterday. Now, this is what the letter says. It's from the Office of Special Counsel relating to my complaint. Quote, because you are the daughter of the deceased non-active duty military officer. Now, I'm not a daughter. Now, someone either changed the documents that I sent U.S. priority mail, or this is a forged document.
Now, which office of special counsel is that?
Washington, D.C.
Special counsel at the Pentagon or at the White House, or where? Which special counsel?
May I approach it?
Certainly.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Because there are a lot
Mueller's office or
there are a lot of-
Department of Justice Special.
Oh, you were saying it to the investigating board.
I assume it was the Office of Special Counsel for the Department of Justice. I mean, they work under it.
Special counsel of the United States of America.
It's DC. I mean, I don't know if Mueller works out of this office. If you get online, you can see who they are.
So, were you trying to reach the special counsel investigating the president?
No, not at all. Not necessarily. No.
So it's-
You just, I got on their website,
Okay.
the Office of Special Counsel.
Okay.
This office. And it outlined who
How
to
to-
file complaints and how to file complaints. Okay? And I
Okay.
did that. So it's totally absurd. This happens all the time. The other thing is, I filed on Tuesday, on Monday, Tuesday, all right, in Philadelphia. I went down before hours and filed an opening statement for this hearing.
Okay.
Never documented.
You went down to
It was
Philadelphia.
stamped, yeah, it was stamped at 6 a.m. in the morning, left for the clerk of court. On Monday, I filed a new habeas corpus.
How did you get it stamped at 6 a.m.? Do they have an automatic thing outside?
And they let you in
And they're open?
24/7.
Wow.
Yeah, you can do it.
That's impressive. I had heard that the law with respect to the clerk's office was that the court is never closed.
That's how you do it. What happens is, right at the security check, the marshal's standing machine, 3 feet from that is a stamp. When you stamp it,
And how long ago was that?
I did that Tuesday.
And it's still not on the docket?
Nope, I stopped in Allentown and got my docket sheet. I filed an habeas corpus with a civil cover sheet and the informal publish on Monday. And yesterday, the U.S. District Court wouldn't even answer my phone, the clerks. I mean, this is massive. And the people that do answer the phone aren't in the clerk's office.
Okay, there's nothing showing in the
Oh, I know.
file Tuesday.
I have a copy of that.
821.
Look at it.
The last thing is that an exhibit filed on 821.
I have it right here.
But Tuesday would have been 8. Now, your separate action should be showing as a separate action. If you filed a habeas, that would go to this
I
number.
searched at Allentown, of course, and there's no new action. You can see the stamp. Now, what you can do is I can leave and mail it, or I can leave it there. Now, shouldn't have that been docketed? What do you think?
I'm trying to figure out whether I've seen this. I don't think so. Like
No,
maybe
because
get
it's
into
not on the
another.
docket. Like I said, I stopped at Allentown before I got here and searched my name and searched the case and it's not on.
Yep, it's clearly got a stamp on it.
Yeah, I stamped. I stamped 2 copies, one for me, one for you, or one for the court.
And this would have been to this docket number.
Yeah.
And you said you did this and filled out your hours.
But it's not documented down here either.
Okay. We can give a call in the clerk's office to try to find out what happened to that.
You want a copy of this?
Sure, if you have an extra copy. Is that an extra copy?
No, can you make one? I have a thumb drive.
Let me call the clerk's office first, because as far as this case is done, we've now resolved this case. But you said there's another case coming, a habeas case. Is that going to be relevant to that? Sounds like it might be. Right? Because this one we've now resolved. As long as that certificate comes, you're going to file a new bankruptcy, correct? And that's going to take care of that. That'll keep the bankruptcy court happy as well. Because, you know, they like to do things in their order. It might be best to file that for the habeas case, but first you need the habeas case. And it's possible with the holiday at the end of summer that they're just delayed on getting that docketed. That is possible. Because it is clearly timestamped, so it should be done.
You'll get the habeas.
Probably.
Okay.
All right. Well, at least we succeeded with the bankruptcy appeal. So you're going to file a new bankruptcy. We're going to dismiss this appeal. If you don't get that certificate for any reason, I should have it on my fax machine. So if you know, I'm going to retain jurisdiction over this case. If this doesn't all work the way it's supposed to, just let me know.
So do I have to do anything with this case or not?
This case will be over. You're going to start a new bankruptcy.
But I don't have to get anything as far as a certificate.
Nope. Nope. I'm going to assume everything is going smoothly. All right? And good luck with the bankruptcy.
All right, thank you, guys.
You're very welcome, sir. Anything else I can help you with?
No, yeah.
All right, everyone, that being everyone sitting here, and Mr. Caterbone, have a wonderful holiday. Thanks.
All rise.
Dude.
Table? Yes, sir. Right, left, which one?
Would you remain standing and raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you shall give upon the issue now before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
State your name and spell your last name for the record.
Stanley J. Caterbone, Caterbone.
Thank you, sir. You may be seated. Mr. Caterbone, this is, as you know, section 105D of your consent that's in front of you. I have some questions generally about your Chapter 11 case. And the first one is, you described that you're proceeding pro se as an individual, as a corporation, and as a fictitious name. Which is it?
Well, Your Honor, as you're aware, my legal affairs are very convoluted, and not by any fault of my own or any doing of my own. Now, since 1987, when I blew the whistle on I know, but you asked me a question.
And I'm asking how you're proceeding in this case.
I'm proceeding as both, individual and corporation. That's what I did before.
Okay.
I did that in 2005, Your Honor.
Okay.
All my debt, all the debts that I listed, most of the debts are beyond or more than 5 years old. They go back to when I was incorporated, when I was working under a fictitious name, and when I was an individual. So they're all over the place.
Okay. If you're filing on behalf of two entities, which you are, you can't do that.
Well, the corporation isn't a debt holder.
And it has no assets that you're counting on? Yeah,
No,
I'll get
the-
to that.
okay,
That
okay.
would be one of
All the debts are to me individually. There's no debts to any corporations.
okay. You mean, when you say debts owed to me, you
Not-
mean
I
the
mean-
money's owed to you,
No, liabilities.
the liability?
Right, the
is owed
liability.
to somebody else?
No, the liabilities are to me individually.
Okay. See, when you use to me, a liability to me means somebody owes you money.
Liabilities on a balance sheet is money you owe people, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I'm talking about liabilities, the money I owe people.
Okay. I get, look.
They're not monies owed to me, liabilities.
Mr. Caterbone, you mentioned, and I agree, that this is a complicated case. That means each step along the line, I want to make sure.
Well, you're trying to confuse the record. Liabilities are monies that I owe people. They're not monies that people owe me. They're receivables. Okay.
When you use the preposition to. that
To what?
confuses
What are you talking about, to? What do you mean, to?
Liability to you. That's what you said. And I understand now that what you're talking about are liabilities owed by you to various entities.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So you personally owe that money, and are you dropping, disclaiming, stating for me that you're not appearing as AMG or as Stanley Caterbone Corporation or as anything like that, just Stanley Caterbone, an individual?
Yes.
Okay.
Since all the debts are, none of them are to a named corporation, yes.
You know that I denied your motion for informal office.
May I say something, Your Honor?
Of course you may.
I came in here yesterday to file an exhibit. I received no orders. I found out yesterday about that order, about you denying that. Now, why is that? You apparently filed it the 20th. Why didn't I get it in the mail? Why do I have to come to the courthouse to receive items that I'm supposed to receive in the mail? And if I recall, that order said you had monies that I owed, fees, due yesterday. And this happens in every case I have.
Okay. So when are you asking to make your first installment?
Did you see my proposed?
I did, and I denied it, and I did a new order.
Well,
Saying
first
my
of all, I can't afford I don't have $430. My order was $75 a month. In addition, Judge Smith, federal judge, thought that I was going to get informal paupers approved down here.
You may have. Judge Smith is not a bankruptcy lawyer or judge, and isn't aware of, I think it's 1105 or 11.
I shouldn't have any fees from any entity by the government after what they've put me through for 30 years. This is ridiculous. They owe me money.
Okay.
But you don't take anything into consideration other than your rules. How can you apply my situation to your rules without looking what's happened to me? Let me ask you something, Judge.
I won't answer any questions.
Okay, don't answer it. Let me state something for the record. Let me state something.
I hesitated after each one of your statements, because I didn't want to interrupt you. So I expect the same courtesy back to me. And if you don't do that, then this will be over very quickly.
I understand, go ahead.
Okay. If you want to make a general comment now, you may. Go ahead.
Okay. For the past year and a half, our embassy in Cuba has been getting hit with microwaves. I've been getting hit with those same microwaves for 12 years. Now, aside from the news reports, they're thinking about Tillerson came out, he may shut the embassy down. Do you know what else has happened to those people? They get their cars broken into and their homes broken into, just like me. All my money goes to replace items that vandals break and sabotage in my home. And nobody does anything about it. This morning, I had to file another hearing request with Judge Smith on a habeas case about obstruction of justice. I went to the police last night. My neighbors threatened me. I can't walk into my home or leave my home without pepper spray. I couldn't get into my home last night because the person in front of my house threatened me in the morning when I left to come down here. And I walked into the police precinct, made a complaint. You know what he said to me? You go get in your car, go home where you're safe, and call dispatch. He wouldn't send anyone over there to escort me into my own home. A year and a half ago, their pit bull put me in a hospital for 3 hours, attacked me, bit through my hand. Nobody does anything. This is a waste of time. I'll follow Judge Smith. Yeah, some type of fucking action. You're not treating me fair, Your Honor. You're not treating me fair. It's not fair. I shouldn't have to be here. It's not fair. No. You're not treating me fair.
Let the record reflect, Mr. Caterbone just got up, walked out, swore at the court, and is.
I didn't swear.
We'll let the transcript decide that. And I don't want any dashes in the transcript. I want the actual word prepared. If you'd like to turn into the seat.
I want to bring up another matter. I filed a complaint with the Department of Justice. They sent me a letter back. In fact, I showed this to Judge Smith, August 31st.
What can they say?
My back and legs.
Okay.
You know what the letter said to me from the Department of Justice?
No, I don't.
Office of Special Counsel? It called me the daughter of a listed serviceman. The daughter. How'd they do that?
Well, without denigrating my employer, the United States of America, mistakes are made.
All right, one more.
As you wish.
July 24th.
There's a lot more, incidentally, there's a lot more questions than I
Okay. Let me get this last one out.
Okay.
July 24th. I have a Third Circuit case. Caterbone versus the NSA et al. Okay, it's in the Third Circuit. Live case. July 24th, I went down to the clerk's, filed an exhibit about Donald Trump's sister sitting on my case. All right, July 24th, with the thumb drive. It's gone, not on a docket. I complained to the Third Circuit Executive Office, and they say there's no judge listed yet. Now, how can that happen? How can a Third Circuit Court of Appeals not list on the docket my filing when I have it stamped? And this happens in every case.
I can't answer anything that the.
Well, it happens in this case.
I can't answer anything that the Third Circuit does or doesn't do.
Well, I'm asking you to be a little more civil to me.
I will let the record show the civility that I've shown you in asking you questions and trying to find out what you mean by your answer.
All right, go ahead. Next question.
Wait, so you're returning now?
Yes,
and
I'm
submitting
returning.
To the question?
Yes.
Okay. I understand that you had not received until perhaps yesterday, maybe today, my order requiring you to make monthly payments of the docket.
Correct. Your clerks. I had your clerks copy me the docket, and 28, 29, and 30 orders for me because I never got those in the mail. Even when I got home yesterday, they weren't in the mail.
The mailing process takes some time. We appreciate your paying taxes, my paying taxes, because we try to do things efficiently, and sometimes it takes time for the order to get mailed out to you. And that being the case, I understand that you did not know that you had your first installment due yesterday. When, in a short time, would you like to make your first installment? Understanding that you have 120 days to pay the total fee. And that's why I broke it up monthly to perhaps, hopefully, make it easier for you.
What is, you're saying I owe $430?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what my income is?
Yes, I do. That's a later question that I don't know why you're in chapter 11, but I'll address that later.
Well, I can't pay $430 at a time.
I understand that.
It was due yesterday.
And what I just said, I'm sorry, I didn't express myself well. What I just said was, yes, I understand it was due yesterday, and yes, you didn't know that. I'm certainly willing to give you till next Friday or the following Monday, well, it's Columbus Day. The following Tuesday.
I'm on food stamps. I get food, I qualified for food stamps. My next Social Security check doesn't come until October 19th, and I've got $200 some that I gotta buy food, gas, and everything else for, not counting the things I've gotta replace that people break. How am I gonna pay you $430?
Because that's the requirement, sir. That's the requirement, that your fee, you chose in chapter 11.
Well, of course I did. It's all, did you see the exhibit yesterday I filed? The valuation of my litigation? $217 million.
I saw that.
Okay.
No,
You don't take that into account.
I don't, that's correct.
Why not? It's all, that's why I filed Chapter 11. My litigation has been tied up in the courts for 12 years. In 2008, the Third Circuit ruled in my favor on the two major cases that I filed in 05. Civil actions. They ruled in my favor. Lower court tried to dismiss. Third Circuit ruled in my favor. Because of all the obstruction, I went back and filed a motion to withdraw without prejudice that was granted. So all my claims are preserved. So I don't know why you don't consider what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to carve out of the settlements money, earmarked money for the creditors. I filed the reorganization plan. It's all in there.
But you didn't follow that as an organization plan. Look, I'm not even going to address that now because that's not due for 4 months.
Well, sir, I filed it with the original petition.
No, not really. You need to let all your creditors know what you're filing, which means each document is to be filed separately with a caption that says plan of reorganization.
It does say,
This
okay.
disclosure statement for plan of reorganization.
That was filed too.
I understand that, sir, but they were buried in hundreds of pages of exhibits that you filed. Okay.
I filed them separately in the old bankruptcy case in February as separate. You know that?
The case I have before me is this one.
Okay.
This is the one that I'm going to look at. And I'm asking, if you want, your payments are due what, the third week of each, your Social Security comes third week of each month?
Yes.
Okay. If you'd like, I can make the payments due October 20, November 20, and December 20, and January 20.
Can you cut those payments in half?
No, I cannot. You need to pay the full amount of the fee within 120 days. And even what I just suggested stretches the 120th day, because the January 20 is beyond 120 days.
Okay, write the order that way.
Okay?
Now, just a minute. Can I speak?
You, of course.
The Social Security doesn't hit till the third Wednesday of every month. So I can't pay it by that. I mean, I need time. I need a few days.
It will be the third Thursday of each month.
So I got to run up here the next day.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Okay. So, what is Advanced Media Group?
Okay. 1990, I was one of 4 companies in the country that could manufacture CD-ROMs.
Right.
I incorporated Advanced Media Group.
Okay.
It was a joint venture between me and Dale High's company that he invested in called American Helix. That was the first Advanced Media Group Limited. That has stock shares in it. Okay, that was a corporation.
Does it exist today?
It's not operating, no.
Okay.
It stopped, it essentially stopped operating back then. Then, in 1999, I filed a fictitious name for Advanced Media Group
Okay,
and did consulting on that, under that name.
Okay, let's do them one at a time.
Okay,
So, AMG, I'll use those initials, you understand that's Advanced Media Group?
okay,
AMG was a limited liability company,
correct.
okay?
It was a subchapter S. I filed it as a subchapter S.
Okay. And it no longer exists,
Well, I still own the shares. I still own the shares. I still own
Okay.
stock.
but it's worthless.
I can't sell privately. I mean, I can't sell publicly. I wouldn't say it's worthless because it's got claims in it,
Okay?
legal claims in it. So no, it's not worthless.
Legal
No.
claims owed by whom?
Oh, well, you have to go back to my lawsuit. It's got-
Okay, those are the same lawsuits in which you're owed money.
Correct.
Okay, so you and AMG are both owed money for these lawsuits.
Yes, plus AMG's is owed receivables.
Okay, are you owed those receivables?
It's the same. What do you mean?
Okay,
It's the same. All the money flows through, a sub S, all the money flows from there to me. I mean,
you don't want to say they're exactly the same unless you really mean that, in which case there's no tax, there's no differentiation and any separate taxation. You don't want to do that unless does a separate entity, AMG, exist today?
AMG Limited or AMG?
AMG Limited, does that exist?
Yes, it exists.
Does AMG exist?
Yes.
In what capacity?
I still own a fictitious name.
So it's you, so it's you doing business as AMG,
Well, I'm not doing business anymore. I collect disability.
okay? But to the extent that AMG does anything, and I'm saying AMG, not AMG Limited, does anything or is owed anything, that's you,
Correct.
okay? So AMG's not operating,
No.
okay? Are you personally, do you have a business that's operating?
Yeah, pro se.
Okay. Doing, well, that's what the AMG is also.
No.
Not AMG Limited, not AMG Limited.
Listen, the only activities I have is being a pro se litigant. I have no business no business activity.
Okay. So your business is being a pro se litigant.
Well, it's not a business, it's just what I do. What do you mean a
Understand.
business?
Do you have any other sources of income?
Other than disability? Of course
Social
not.
Security, okay.
Of course not.
Okay, you own AMG with 3 brothers?
No. Where'd you get that from?
From your statement?
No, my house is owned by me and my 3.
You're right, I apologize. The deed is to the 4 of you?
Correct.
What's the value?
Oh, boy. Last assessment was 71 with the newest, we just went through new assessments. The new assessment, I think, is 91. A house down the street just sold for 84, so call it 90.
Okay.
I probably couldn't get that, but
The office equipment, is that yours personally or is that AMG Limited's?
no, it's mine.
Okay. And you own 997,000 shares of AMG?
Correct.
Of AMG Limited, excuse me.
Yes, correct.
Who owns is there another 3,000 somewhere?
Yeah, 1,000 here and 1,000 there.
To whom?
Well, I issued 1,000 to Cheryl Crow's Aquatic Center. It was a charitable contribution, more or less. And 1,000 to Pamela Sue Flum. That was years ago. And I think there was another 1,000 issued to Marilyn DePaulo.
So
But they were issued years ago. So
somebody's channeling their
No.
telepathy through you to Cheryl Crow? Is that, you said that in one of your papers? Or something like that?
What?
You don't know anything about someone channeling some sort of telepathy or ESP through you to Cheryl Crow?
Your Honor, in 2009, I applied for Social Security disability for symptoms and illnesses as a victim of U.S.-sponsored mind control. I was awarded benefits under that process, under that filing, no doctors, no psychiatric evaluation. I've been collecting Social Security disability for being a victim of U.S.-sponsored mind control.
Okay, all I'm asking is something that's in your papers, that you identify that somebody is working through
When
you. to
synthetic
Cheryl
telepathy, okay?
Crow. Okay,
Synthetic telepathy has been developed by the military in the 60s. What they do with synthetic telepathy is they can put voices in your head anytime they want. They put voices in my head. The voices say they're different people all the time. I don't channel anyone. I'm a victim of synthetic telepathy. That's why I collect Social Security disability.
okay.
Channeling, that's a
channeling.
psychic
I
term.
apologize for using the incorrect term.
Well, yeah, that's a psychic term. I'm not psychic. I never said that.
Okay,
I'm a victim of U.S.-sponsored mind control. Been collecting Social Security disability ever since. You can't refute it. I can prove it.
and channeling through you to Cheryl Crow.
Who is?
You
You
don't,
you just said you won't use the word channeling. You're using it
I
again.
thought you just used it.
No, I didn't. I said it's synthetic telepathy.
Okay. So the synthetic telepathy goes from some lady whose name.
No. It has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
It comes from whoever. It comes from the entity using the technology.
But someone's getting to Cheryl Crow through you.
I never said that.
Okay. At some point, if it becomes relevant, I'll show you where you said that. You say the value of AMG is $167 million.
I just filed a paper yesterday.
Yes.
The exhibit, the value of my litigation.
Okay. Now that's your value. Doing business as AMG.
Your Honor, all you're trying to do is confuse issues.
No, I'm really not.
I need a recess. Can I have a recess?
No. And I understand that every.
I can't answer your question because you're confusing me.
Okay,
Let's just
you
talk
tell
about me alone. Why do you mention these other companies? They haven't been operating for 15, 20 years.
You listed in your Schedule B that
Because
AMG
technically they're still in the books in the state, and I'm on record for them.
Okay.
That's why.
And so you listed the value of AMG as being $167 million.
Well, I valued all. I own Advanced Media Group Limited, correct?
You tell me, I don't know if it's correct, but that.
I just told you I did.
You.
I said I own 997 shares out of 1 million.
Okay.
Didn't I say that?
I believe you did.
Okay, so I own Advanced Media Group Limited. I own Advanced Media Group fictitious name. Right?
You say so. I don't know who owns it.
I
But
just
you
told
said
you I
so
did.
today,
I just
but
told
I'm
you I
trying-
did. I told you I registered it as a fictitious name.
The accounts receivable,
Yes.
when somebody owes money to someone, is it you, or is it?
It's one and the same.
Doing business as AMG, or is it AMG Limited?
It depends on the receivable. It depends when the receivable was developed. If the receivable is from 1991 or 1990, then the receivable is from Advanced Media Group Limited, because that's what I was operating as. That's what the invoice says.
Okay.
If the receivable is from 2000, it most likely is Advanced Media Group, the fictitious name, because that's what I was doing consulting as.
Okay, in that paper that you told me you filed, it says 167 million, but you didn't break it down between limited and
I
not
just,
limited.
I filed an exhibit yesterday
Yeah.
that goes into further detail.
Not that much, no, sir.
Yes, it does. I listed all the business activities. What did you
have no
look at?
secured claims? There are
No.
no secured claims against you?
No,
And there are no lawsuits against you?
no,
Has anyone threatened a lawsuit?
no,
And you're unemployed with zero income except for Social Security.
correct,
You have monthly expenses of 1,690,
roughly,
and you have income of 1,358.
Correct.
Social Security.
correct.
No repossession efforts by
No,
anybody.
no,
No foreclosures.
no,
No garnishments.
no,
No attachments.
no. I own a car outright now, house outright.
No attempt to seize any property.
No. Nothing to seize.
No levies on any property. You have a safe deposit box.
Two
PNC.
Two PNC branches,
Okay.
one in Millersville, one on Duke Street.
And they contain
Legal documents.
assets.
Legal documents.
What's that mean?
Papers, all things I consider evidence for my court cases. Some family artifacts.
Okay. We may disagree on this one. You need to file certain documents. You've got a list of them from the clerk's office. You may believe that you have filed them already, but as I mentioned before, to provide all your creditors and other parties and interests.
I know what you need, okay.
Okay. You
Separate,
need to file them separately.
okay,
Okay? You need to do that.
all right. And is that on a new order? Is that on one of the orders I got yesterday?
It doesn't say you have to file them separately, but that may be what you're confused with, because you say you have filed a lot of those, but they're buried in hundreds of pages of exhibits. So that's why.
You want them broken out, okay.
Okay.
So that was the order of September 12th?
Yes, 12, that's right, 9/12.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna change your, chapter 7 filing fee to third Thursday of October, November, December, and January.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Of course. I might not be able to answer it.
No, what are the accepted methods of payment to the court?
Money order.
No,
Ms. Finca?
there's no electronic transferring?
No.
No, okay. Cash or money order
Yes.
or check?
No.
No check, no personal checks.
Okay.
Actually, right here is your antitrust violation, and it doesn't break down between AMG and AMG Limited.
No.
You said this did, and
No, it has all the companies listed in detail. It doesn't break them down because it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
it has all your court cases in it, and sir, it's not irrelevant. Because if AMG Limited is owed money, that's not money that's owed to you.
Yes, it is because I own it.
Okay.
I'm the only owner.
Okay. I understand you filed a plan and disclosure statement, perhaps a plan of organization and a disclosure statement.
On a form for,
In some of the documents, and I'd like, doesn't have to be
Okay,
today or
okay,
tomorrow or
okay.
this week or next month.
all right,
Has to be by the middle of January if you're gonna do that.
okay.
If you're going to, get $1,300 in income, and you have $1,600.
Well, the $1,600, I'm taking an average. I mean, a lot of that are discretionary expenditures where I can cut back on my printing or my filing activities, or if someone doesn't break something that month, or things like that. I mean, they're not fixed costs.
Okay, I'm giving you, Mr. Caterbone, extraordinary leeway in paying the filing fee, in allowing it to go beyond the 120 days. The result of that is if you don't make the payments, your case will be dismissed.
I understand.
Okay. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to put on the record?
No.
Okay, you're free to go.
Court's dismissed?
No, the court's not dismissed.
My case is dismissed?
Somebody's waiting, I didn't,
I mean,
somebody's waiting to have their case.
I'm done?
Yes, I said.
Okay, because last time we were, okay. Now, can I ask one more question? When will these orders go out, and when can I expect to receive them by mail?
The only order that's going to come out is the one on,
The fees?
on the fees, yes. I will try to get it out today, this afternoon, I have 3 telephones.
Well, we have talked. Okay, I've talked to them. I know the date, okay. I've talked to them. Can I ask another question? Of course. Now they have this new audio recording system.
Yes.
I don't have access to Pacer. If I come up here, can I get a copy of that, or do I have to go through a transfer request?
Listen to, if you want to order a CD, you may order a CD. There's a
Okay,
fee
you order the
involved.
same way, right.
There's a fee.
But if I had Pacer, can I download the audio or
That's
not?
available on Pacer only, I believe, is that correct? Access to the docket is required.
No, the audio, it's a new system they're
I
using.
understand that.
Okay.
But that's limited to the docket, which is only available, well, can he get to the docket?
If he comes into the clerk's office,
I could listen, no, I could listen to this proceeding on your computer in there through the docket, correct?
yes.
That was my question. Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
7:56, should we please?
Sorry. Tell you, I'm used to it. It's not fair what's happening to me. My 2 brothers are dead because of this stuff. My oldest brother murdered Christmas Day of 1984. Right? My mom had to bury her 2 sons. My youngest brother dies in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, at 32. Suspicious death. Isn't that weird? Are you going to the games this weekend?
Maybe Friday, I'll just see if they're home or away. I was at last week. What did I do?
I want to see McCaskey play.
They've been really down. They used to
Oh, I
be a
know.
powerhouse here.
They used to have all these speedsters.
I know.
Kids aren't going out anymore, you know?
I know. You're right.
With
Chairman's running high.
phones, video games.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
I know.
Hempfield even got beat pretty good.
They used to be a powerhouse too when I played. You know that?
Now it's, well, E-Town got beat.
You know who's good in that league is Warwick and Manhunt County.
good time too.
They got beat by Mifflin.
Mifflin, right.
I know.
Oh, weird.
I can't explain. Every week seems to be different.
I'll take the Eagles and Penn State 2-0 last weekend.
Yeah. No doubt.
Good thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Penn State's fun to watch.
Something to do against Indiana.
My nephew had a tryout a month ago. Signed with Army. He plays for St. Thomas Aquinas. See you guys later. Sorry for the commotion.